For all the action, mistakes, Easter eggs, and cameos in blockbuster movies, the drama and comedy behind the scenes can be just as awesome. We're changing things up and giving you a rapid-fire dose of movie trivia you never thought to look for. Screen Rant presents Know Your Movies, 20 amazing movie secrets that will blow your mind. Jurassic World. The product placement in the Jurassic Park sequel stuck out like a sore thumb, but it wasn't the studio's work. The director actually requested the sponsors, claiming that if the park were open today, every part of it would be branded. The Avengers, Age of Ultron. The final battle is set in Sokovia, but it was filmed at a London police training college. The statue in the town square was given a fake beard since it's a well-known monument to Robert Peel, the inventor of the modern police force and the reason British cops are still called bobbies. Furious 7, not 7. The director James Wan confused everyone when he said the 7 in the title was the word, not the movie's place in the series. The movie's title is actually a tribute to the classic Japanese movie Seven Samurai, with Wan seeing Dominic Toretto and his team as Hollywood's modern, horse-powered samurai. The Martian. A secret NASA mission to save a stranded astronaut is given the title Project Elrond, a reference to a secret meeting in The Lord of the Rings. When Ridley Scott realized Sean Bean was actually in that movie scene and would also explain the name in this film, he wanted to change it. But the crew demanded it stay since the joke was actually a hilarious coincidence. Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation. Tom Cruise is famous for doing his own massive stunts, climbing skyscrapers or hanging onto an airplane, but the actor's training even covers stunt driving in Rogue Nation. It wasn't to meet the star's demands either. The stunt coordinator claimed he didn't have a stunt driver who was better than Cruise. Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Back in 1983, Mark Hamill gave an interview to TV AM in the UK and told reporters George Lucas spoke of bringing Luke Skywalker back as an Obi-Wan type character, training a new generation of Jedi in Episode 7. He also said Episode 7 wouldn't happen until 2011. Ant-Man. Any superhero actor has to hit the gym before shooting their scenes, but Paul Rudd was more committed to getting into shape than Marvel expected. When they started shooting, the Ant-Man costume had to be altered to compensate for Rudd's added muscle and lost fat, and an unscripted shirtless scene was added shortly after. Mad Max, Fury Road. The villain of Fury Road is larger than life in every way, except for the weapon he seems to be praying to. That's an authentic Australian waddy, a weapon used as recently as World War I. When the actor's mother-in-law left it to him, he asked the director to work it into the movie, and the rest is history. Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Even though most movie fans will miss it, Ewan McGregor and Frank Oz were both brought back to record new dialogue as Obi-Wan and Yoda, but the audio team went to even greater lengths, editing Alec Guinness's recordings from the original trilogy to pull characters' names out of other words he spoke, giving both Obi-Wans a spot in the film. Guardians of the Galaxy. Marvel may be churning out blockbusters, but they don't spend money if they don't have to. The massive set constructed for the Kiln prison was so expensive to build, the studio only agreed to foot the bill after planning to melt down all the steel after filming and sell it back to the supplier. Captain America, The Winter Soldier. The Nick Fury chase scene through city streets was a hit with fans because it actually seemed realistic. The sequence was based on a 2010 Brazilian police chase that looked exactly the same, and the directors even played the police video as part of their original pitch to Marvel. The Lego Movie. A major highlight of the movie is Liam Neeson's role as both good cop and bad cop. The director wanted to record them separately, but Neeson thought it would be better to rapidly switch from one to the other. The result was a crazed manic split personality filled with improvisation, and fans loved every second. X-Men, Days of Future Past. The movie that rebooted the X-Men movie universe had it all. New mutants, returning favorites, and even a romance between Wolverine and Storm. The future scene was deleted, but it showed the movie versions of the heroes finally gave into their attraction like they had multiple times in the comics. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. The movie's original ending saw the apes watching as battleships approached in San Francisco Bay, promising an imminent war. Director Matt Reeves decided to go with a more emotional ending between the movie's ape and human leads. It's an incredible ending scene, even though it was filmed weeks before release, with Reeves directing via Skype and a stand-in for Andy Serkis actually on set. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. It may have killed Sony's solo Spider-Man series, but the original ending would have had fans talking for years. Peter's father Richard Parker coming back from the dead is one thing, but showing Venom in Oscorp's basement, along with the frozen head of Norman Osborn, leaves every fan with unanswered questions of what would have come next. Gone Girl. In all the suspense and twists and turns of this story, audiences probably missed some time-consuming CG effects. According to director David Fincher, with the number and variety of wigs that star Rosamund Pike had to wear, there isn't a single shot of her in the movie that didn't require a special effects team to retouch her hairline. Man of Steel. When Henry Cavill showed up for a Superman screen test, the prototype costume wasn't available, so they used the classic Christopher Reeve version instead. When Cavill stepped out of the wardrobe in the brightly colored outdated suit and everyone grew quiet on set, they knew they'd found the man for the job. Interstellar. The sprawling cornfield used in just a few scenes required 500 acres to be planted and grown. It might sound like insanity on Christopher Nolan's part, but when shooting wrapped, the corn was sold for a hefty profit. Frozen. Most fans know this Disney hit is based on The Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen, but the main characters' names are no coincidence. Say them out loud fast enough, and Hans Christoph Anna Sven is clearly a play on the author's name that few will catch on their own. Jurassic Park. Director Steven Spielberg had young actresses record blood-curdling screams to see how they'd handle the movie's terrifying twists. When he played actress Ariana Richards' tape, and it was the only recorded scream to raise his wife from bed in panic, he realized he had found his Lex. Those are some of our favorite mind-blowing movie facts, but let us know which ones we missed and stay tuned for more. And remember, subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one.